People transport their mountain bikes by various means, either by car, by van, by rack, by pickup. However, with an e-mountain bike and that added weight, it can be a little bit more tricky. So today then, we're going to have a look at the various ways of transporting your e-bike from A to B. Now, e-bikes are a great way of getting out and about and going on some mega adventures, but there could actually be some trails on your doorstep which you don't even know about. So when we're talking about transporting your e-mountain bike, maybe rather than getting to a destination, maybe just go and have a look in your backyard. Now, obviously a lot of people drive cars, and the most popular way of transporting an e-bike is actually by using a rack. Now, racks come in all shapes and sizes, but before I go into each of them, I want to point out that you need to be sure of the rating of each of those racks, and they can cope with the weight that you're going to be putting on the back of them. Obviously this varies from country to country, as to does the whole business of whether you should be having your battery fitted to the bike or disconnected from the bike. However, lots of people have got a trusty old hatchback, and you can actually just sling your e-bike in the back. So here's my 1.6 FSI Golf, seated down in the back, obviously. Now, some cars you can chuck your bike in very easily. Not the case on my Golf, so I'm taking the front wheel out, and what I do is I hold the bike and then I slot the axle back in so you don't lose it. In this way, I haven't put the bike upside down. If you put the bike upside down, you're going to watch that it might actually damage the controls on your handlebar there. So the way to do it is simply, you grab the forks, you grab the seat tube, so you've got a good even weight distribution. So that 20 kilo bike is now actually not as heavy as it used to be. And you simply slot it in the back like that. And then trust the old pad, or you can have a bit of cardboard, you can have a blanket, chuck it on top, protect the bike, wheel on top, boom, job done. Now, one alternative way to carry your e-mountain bike is by a Towbar mounted rack. Now, these come in all shapes and sizes. You can get 1 bike carriers, 2 bike carriers, 3 bike, 4 bike. The key thing to know here is the system, the maximum system weight. So including the bike and the carrier, it can't be more than 60 kilos on the back of your car on a Towbar mounted rack. They range in price from £100 up to £500–600. Now, Thule do an incredible range of racks for your car. These ones we're looking at now are mostly Towbar mounted. So this is a Velo Compact 2 bike. As you can see, this rack here actually can fold away so you get access to your boot area. That's one option. As you can see, this is maximum of 46 kilograms. Move over here. We actually have an e-bike. Now, this is the easy fold, which means when you take this rack off your car, it folds away quite compactly. 60 kilo for this one, so that's a 2 bike rack there. Okay, let's move down here. We've got racks for downhill bikes. We've got racks with storage on them. And this is a super neat touch, is this little ramp here, which means you can wheel your e-bike up onto the rack in the back of your car. Really nice, really nice. I mean, they don't come cheap, obviously. These start from about £400, I think. Now, check this one out, the Wonderway. Wonderway here. This only bolts on to Volkswagen T6s, and this is designed to carry 2 e-mounted bikes. So if you've got a T6, you got 2 e-mounted bikes, it's probably what I get. Now, Russell here is taking his Specialized Enduro off his roof rack on his Mercedes 200D. Now, a lot of people choose to have roof racks on their cars simply because there's parking sensors and it is the most convenient way of transporting a bike. However, on an e-bike which weighs upwards of 20 kilos, getting that bike up onto the roof on an expensive car is probably not the best option. So I'd probably move away from this idea from the start. Russell, that looked dead easy for your 13 kilo Enduro. Now, I guess you could take an e-mounted bike on a roof bar. Now, make sure if you do that the roof rack is actually certified for the weight, and you could possibly, depending on what country you live in, take your battery out to transport it. But that rule and law changes from country to country. Now Rachel here reckons you can carry 3 normal mountain bikes on this rack. She's got her £4,000 Enduro on it, and I'm just leaning on it thinking, crikey, if I chuck a 20 kilo e-mountain bike on there, it's going to flex like, you know what I'm going to say. But so these are called trunk racks, and they range from about £25 up to, what do you call this, Rachel, 150 quid?
I think we'll look at 150, 180.
Would you carry an e-bike on there?
I have, but I wouldn't want to go a long distance in it.
I'm a bit wary about these racks for e-mountain bikes, but you can try it. Another option for transport could be the venerable pickup truck. No weight limit, a huge amount of carrying potential, but really is a good idea not to leave your bikes unlocked. A great product for carrying bikes in a pickup truck is a tailgate pad, available from about £100 to protect your truck. Of course, the ultimate form of transporting your e-mountain bike has got to be a van. I mean, vans come in all shapes and sizes. But the great thing is you can check your bike in there and get changed at the same time. Carl Jennings.
Hi, Steve.
Now, he has got a nice van. Carl, obviously the first part is a horse blanket.
Oh, yes.
Would you call them horse blankets?
Horse cruise, well, bike bag, anything you can put on it, stop the bike marking, so if it moves about in the van. And
Yeah. So this is a bike.
These are the best way to go.
Yeah. So this is a horse blanket to protect your bike from scratches and being chucked around in the back of the van. Carl, can you show us how you transport your mountain bike in a van?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, generally, when you've got tired, if you want to put it in the bag.
Okay then. You stick the bag on first. Bag on first. Oh right.
The only thing with the bags is 2 man is better than 1.
Right.
They just wheel in. So if you open that up,
yeah,
that'll just.
I've never actually seen one of these. I've never seen one of these. Oh my God!
And that just goes up like that.
Brandon, we need to get these. We need to get some blankets, bike blankets, pony blankets.
Now, normally we go pedals off. Normally.
Yeah.
When we're doing it.
So pedal off normally.
Yeah.
I think that'll fine. That'll be fine.
There we go.
Now that has got to be the ultimate way. No scratches. Right, what's next?
Next thing is just basically, in she goes. Put the front wheel into the corner. Like, you can be a bit in if you've got lots of bikes to put in. You can twist the bars. Just undo the thing.
Yeah.
Put the backs flat, and you'll get about 7, 8 e-bikes.
I don't think most people have got 8. Most people haven't got 8 to 10 bikes.
No, if there's a few of you, and then generally it's just
one bungee.
One bungee. One bungee will do it.
No.
I like to use 2 normally, but one bungee will do it.
One bungee.
One bungee. One there. And then what I like to do, just to make sure, probably because of my crap driving, but I'll pull one around there.
Oh, you were in plant for 20 years.
I know. Big kit. Yeah.
Look at that nice bit of light in there, look. Perfect interview setup here. Of course, you've got to have about, well, I actually spend about £2 on my van, but you can spend, what much do you spend on a van these days?
Well,
60 grand?
It can be, yeah. My camper's a bit special, but yeah, okay. Depends on your budget.
So there you go.
All you need is a van.
All you need is a van. There you go. Wise words from Carl Jennings. So there you go, transporting an e-mountain bike. Not as straightforward as a normal mountain bike. Still, there's lots of ways to get around it. I will point out there's probably 2 other ways to transport. One would be a motorcycle carrier, which is a Towbar mounted system, and they come in at about £80, £90. So that's actually quite a cheap way of carrying an e-mountain bike around. You could, I suppose, have a trailer as well, but I think that's probably a little bit excessive. 2 items which you should always take when you're transporting your e-mountain bike. One is the key for your battery, if you have got a key mounted battery, and also a bit of cardboard or a blanket to protect your e-bike from any scratches, or actually to hide it if you leave your bike in a car park or anywhere during the daytime. That's it. If you want to know about in-car charging or alternative forms of charging your e-mountain bike, we've done a video on that. Meantime, let's know your thoughts on how you guys transport your e-mountain bikes. Give us a thumbs up if you like the video, and hit the globe to see more e-mountain bike content.